Before we get into Major League Pickleball in New York City, there were a couple of interesting things that happened in pickleball this week. Um, First and foremost, I was able to attend a pretty cool event at Wrigley Field with the Chicago Slice and the Pro XR team. We were able to set up a court right outside Wrigley Field in Chicago, which is pretty epic. Annalie Waters threw out the first pitch, and she at least made it to the plate, which was much more than I could say. Memes of pickleball picked up on it, and they had that funny meme of like somebody hitting a home run off of it. I will say, I think my earned run average is probably lower than Annalise because I just spiked mine into the dirt. Nobody's hitting a home run off of that. Annalie, she kind of lofted it in there, and I think somebody was going yard on that. So there's that, right? There's that. But it was a really cool event put on by Ron, Joe, the whole 35 Capital and Slice and ProXR Paddle Tech team. Had a lot of people stopping by at any given time. There were probably like, 200-300 people watching the pickleball event. I don't know. Actually, maybe my numbers are wrong. Maybe it was less. I don't know. But there were a lot of people there the entire time, which was pretty sweet. Nice to get more people exposed to pickleball like that. Now, one way that we had this week that was, I think, just awful exposure for pickleball was we also got to go to this event at the Lot Hotel in New York City. They're known for hosting tennis players at their hotel, and they always do some sort of racket sports tournament in their courtyard. Previously, it had been ping pong tournaments or ping pong events, but recently they've switched it over to pickleball. They set up a pickle roll court in the middle of their courtyard. They had some unbelievable names there. They had Sloane Stevens, Madison Keys, Taylor Fritz, who's the number one ranked American on the men's side right now, and then Carlos Alcaraz, who is probably the most electric tennis player. I don't know if he's ranked number one. Yannick Sinner might be number one, but like Carlos Alcaraz and Yannick Sinner are neck and neck, and Alcaraz has been winning more of the Grand Slams lately. So, and he's probably the biggest name in tennis at this point, Alcaraz, even more so than Sinner. But the event was horrible. So they had this crappy court that had a huge divot in it, and they had fans or spectators literally lined up all the way to the baseline. So they just couldn't. They basically had to stand in the transition zone if they wanted to play. They had Maya and Yuta there from the Miami Pickleball Club, and that was great. But all they did was warm up with these crappy jugs balls that they gave them. They warmed up for like an hour before the tennis pros got out there, and then they just left. They should have played in with the tennis pros, because as soon as the tennis pros got in there, they had these weird 3-minute games playing with the world's worst paddles. They weren't even anything. I mean, legitimately, it seemed like a wood paddle would have been better. So they played with this slow ball, this crappy ball, crappy court, horrible paddles, and they basically just looked like they were hitting short court tennis to one another for 3 minutes at a time. They literally just played who could score the most points in 3 minutes, and there was not a single shot that didn't go basically right back to the person. It looked like they were just rallying for 3 minutes, and I caught some flack saying I wanted 1 out of 1. It was 1 out of 100 effort from in the event, but it's not the player's fault. We're not going to get Carlos Alcaraz sliding around the court. I'm not expecting that, right? However, if you did have actual balls, actual paddles, and the Miami Pickleball Club players out there with them, you could have some fun hands exchanges. You could have some actually good points. They're never going to be doing anything more than, going half speed and not trying to get hurt. But I would have loved to see them at half speed even. Them at 1/100th speed. Not their fault. It's a byproduct of the situation that they were put in. I think that did so much more harm to pickleball than it helped. It felt like a little brothering of pickleball once again, which maybe that's tennis's objective during the U.S. Open in New York City. Not a bad objective, I guess, but I thought it doesn't deserve the hype from the pickleball community that it did sort of get. So anyway, that's my soap opera on that one, or my soapbox.
Hey, it's Luke from The Dink, and I just wanted to recap an awesome event we pulled off in New York City. It's part of a new event series called Courted, and it's in collaboration with us and Buick. A multi-city social mixer for anyone brand new to pickleball or up to 5-0. Great way to meet people, win some prizes, or soak up the vibes. We had Riley Newman on the court doing exhibitions and taking on attendees, plus Brooklyn Pickleball team rolled out with merch and their minor league squad. We teamed up with Buick to make it happen, and for the New York start, we somehow convinced them to bring their Envista and Enclave onto the rooftop at Hell's Kitchen Pickleball. These Buicks are pretty slick, beautiful interiors, huge touchscreens, and the Enclave's panoramic sunroof is awesome. And we're doing it all again August 30th in Chicago, so if you know someone that wants to come along or you want to, then head to courtedpickleball.com.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, dollar hat gonna